Hello, fellow mystery lovers. Well, today we're going to be looking at the first episode of Season 2 of Sherlock, A Scandal in Belgravia. So, here we go. A phone call to Moriarty interrupts the standoff between him and Sherlock. Following the call, Moriarty leaves. Sherlock becomes a minor celebrity after John blogs about their activities. While investigating a case, Sherlock and John are brought before Mycroft in Buckingham Palace. He reveals that Irene Adler, a dominatrix known professionally as the Woman, took compromising photographs of herself and a female member of the royal family. Ooh my. They want the pair to retrieve Adler's smartphone. Sherlock and John try to get into Adler's home. However, Adler has been expecting them and appears to them completely naked, leaving Sherlock unable to deduce anything about her. But through a false fire alarm, he finds her hidden safe. Several CIA operatives led by Nielsen break into the house and demand that Sherlock open the safe. After asking the combination as Adler's measurements, he does so. The booby trap in the safe distracts the agents long enough for Sherlock and Adler to disarm them, after which Sherlock takes the phone. Adler then sedates Sherlock, takes the phone, and escapes. On Christmas Eve, Sherlock learns via text that Adler has sent him her phone, which requires an unknown password, and realizes she'll be found dead. Her mutilated body is later found and identified. A week later, on New Year's Eve, an intermediary contacts John and takes him to Battersea Power Station. John is surprised to find Adler, who faked her death to shake off her pursuers. Clever girl. Sherlock, having followed John, learns of Adler's survival. Sherlock returns home to find Nielsen's team holding his landlady, Mrs. Hudson, hostage. Sherlock saves her and throws Nielsen out a window several times in revenge. Later on, Adler reveals that she's still being hunted and asks Sherlock to decipher a code from a stolen MOD official. He effortlessly cracks the code, revealing it to be a series of airline seat allocation numbers. Adler secretly texts the resulting flight information to Moriarty, who in return texts Mycroft, revealing that he is now aware of the MOD ploy to fool the terrorists trying to bomb a plane. Ew. A government official brings Sherlock to Heathrow. He recalls the Coventry myth and suspects that something similar is happening. Mycroft confirms this. The US and UK governments have decided to fly an unmanned plane full of corpses so as not to alert the terrorists while avoiding casualties. However, if Sherlock unwittingly helped Adler and Moriarty crack the code, the scheme was foiled. Adler reveals a list of demands to Mycroft, including protection, in exchange for the release of the contents of her phone. Adler taunts Sherlock, saying that he meant nothing to her. However, Sherlock realizes that she is intensely attracted to him, as he previously noticed her elevated pulse and pupil dilation. He finally figures out the password and unlocks the phone with the word "sure," so that the screen reads, "I am Sherlocked." With her leverage gone, Adler pleads for protection, but Sherlock and Mycroft turn her down. Rude. Some months later, Mycroft informs John that Adler has been beheaded by terrorists in Karachi, Pakistan, but asks him to tell Sherlock instead that she has entered a witness protection program in America. Sherlock appears to accept this and asks for Adler's phone. After John leaves, Sherlock reminisces his journey to Pakistan, where he actually rescued her. Aw, good on him. So anyway, let's look at the sources and illusions about this episode. The episode is based on Arthur Conan Doyle's short story Scandal in Bohemia, and also alludes to several other adventures. There are references to numerous famous Holmes stories, such as the Greek Interpreter, in this episode the Geek Interpreter, the Speckled Band, in this episode the Speckled Blonde, the Naval Treaty, in this episode the Naval Treatment, the Illustrious Client, and the Priory School. One of Watson's blogs is titled Sherlock Holmes Baffled, the same title as a 1900 silent film, the first depiction of Holmes on film. Watson reveals his middle name to be Hamish, and not to Dorothy Sayers' theory. Moriarty's text message to Mycroft of "Dear me, Mr. Holmes, dear me," is the same as his note to Holmes in the epilogue of The Valley of Fear. As Holmes opens Adler's safe, he says, Vatican cameos, a reference to a mystery that is mentioned in the Hound of in the Hound of the Baskervilles. And last but not least, onto the production. Laura Pulver decided to audition for the role of Irene Adler when she read the script, shortly after wrapping on the espionage series Spoofs, in which she had played Erin Watts. She was cast after meeting Stephen Moffat and reading with Cumberbatch. Pulver told the website Digital Spy that Moffat, quote, had written such a multi-dimensional role that I literally immersed myself in his writing. Everything else went out the window for me, research-wise, other than the dominatrix angle. Literally, if you search my computer, you'd think I was a porn star or something. She says that she found the initial vulnerability when filming the nude scenes, quote, empowering, because she was unable to, quote, hide behind anything. There's no mask. This is me in the flesh. By the end of take 2, it wasn't an issue. Musician Eos Chatter worked as Benedict Cumberbatch's violin coach for this episode. Although Chatter's playing is on the actual soundtrack, Cumberbatch was required to appear to be an expert violinist. To achieve this, Chatter was positioned on set so that she could synchronize her playing with his. She says, quote, on set I need to see him, to play when he lifts his violin and stop when he stops. And he needs to see me, to copy my bowings, to ghost what I'm doing. In one scene I would have to stand outside in 2 boxes on the scissor lift, watching him while he watches me out the window. Wow, that's interesting. So overall, this is a pretty darn good episode, and the introduction of Irene Adler is definitely one of the highlights of the story. So overall, I give Scandal Belgravia 5 Deerstalkers out of 5. Well, join me tomorrow as we take a look at the Hounds of Baskerville. So, until then, always remember, the game's afoot.